News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Friday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And welcome back. I know a couple days ago you could hardly talk, but you recovered pretty well here.
I have my voice now. It's not a very raspy like it was a couple days ago. So yeah, thankfully I'm back. And well, we have a nice day today, Gary. We're in the 60s this afternoon with some sunshine. And smack, let's take a look right now, because before that sunny and warm weather, we begin in the 30s in 40s, some spots in the 20s up in Saranac Lake. It's a very frosty morning up there. But let's zoom in, going county by county. Let's start out in the Adirondacks. We're at 32 Otter Lake, 34 Inlet, 30 in Long Lake, and 30 in Lake Pleasant. Heading south, or 38 in Lake Pleasant, excuse me, 37 Rome, 40 in Whitesboro, and 36 Washington Mills. Heading south, it's 38 Cooperstown, 36 Morris, 34 Sherburne. You get the gist of these temperatures here. A lot of spots actually not below freezing, but there are some outlying areas. So this frost isn't widespread, but it certainly is possible if you're in those sheltered areas from those winds. Yorkville Battery Live radar, we are dry this morning. Expect a completely dry day today with a few wispy clouds moving in and high temperatures in the upper 60s. Not too bad of a Friday. Now, full transparency, I wish this stretch lasted into the weekend. Unfortunately, we got some rain to track for this weekend. We'll have the details, the timing, and everything you need to know to plan out your Memorial Day weekend forecast in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Fire crews in Utica.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back. Time now is 5:11 on this Friday. Welcome back to News Channel 2 at sunrise here. We take a look at your forecast in a minute today, and as you see here, well, we are starting out rather sunny. Temperature beginning at 38 degrees and calm winds, a dew point at 33. Certainly a bit of a dry air out there today. And a sunrise of 5:35. So today, we start out with some sunshine, a few wispy clouds working their way in this afternoon, but it still remains completely dry with highs in the upper 60s. So if you have any plans for your Friday afternoon, Friday evening, well, certainly weather will not be an impact. However, as we head toward the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and of course on Memorial Day itself, we're tracking rainfall. Now, not every portion of the day is going to be raining, but we are expecting widespread rain all 3 days. We're going to time out what time frames are rainy, what time frames are dry, and hopefully help you plan out your weekend coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Every year, proceeds from the
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now is 5:17 on this Friday. Let's just jump right into the forecast for today and that all-important Memorial Day weekend forecast as well. We begin with a look at the latest temperatures this morning. We are hovering in the 30s. Some spots 40s, other spots 20s. Nonetheless, some patchy frost certainly possible. Not really that widespread, thankfully, but this should be one of the last times we could see frost here locally for hopefully the entire season. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Cooperstown, a live view. It's 38 crisp degrees out in Main Street right now. And as we look at the bigger picture, high pressure keeping our weather dry for the day today. It's not until we head into tomorrow we start to see some rainfall approach. This is what we've been tracking all week. It moves in Saturday, continues early Sunday. Now it does dry up right here as we head into Sunday evening with more rainfall arriving again on Monday. But either way, let's zoom in on our skycast for some official times here. So today, as you see here, it's dry. Sunny to start, a few clouds work their way in, but it's a dry evening. So if you have any plans, we're in the upper 60s, dry conditions, should have no issues with any evening plans for the day today. Now, tomorrow morning, We start out in the upper 40s, low 50s. A few clouds, some sprinkles to our south, but the rainfall doesn't really begin to arrive, at least until we head into the late morning, early afternoon. This is noontime. Now, we've got rain showers in the Southern Valley. It's on the cusp of the Utica-Rome area here at noontime, eventually slowly moving north by 5 p.m. Notice those of you in Hamilton and northern Herkimer County are still dry at 5 p.m. So Saturday for you guys, especially up north, not really a factor in terms of rainfall. Regardless, widespread rain does move through overnight. Early Sunday morning is a rainy one with heavier downpours here and there. By around noontime, we actually dry up a little bit on Sunday. So Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, actually just cloudy and damp, but the rainfall does end. So we do have some brief windows here of dry conditions. Now, Monday overnight looks pretty dry. We are going to see the arrival of more rain showers, though, as we head into Monday in the late morning. So the early part of the day is going to be a bit on the rainy side. But nonetheless, as you look at your 7-day forecast, there is a change here. So Saturday and Sunday, we are in the low 60s, Sunday upper 50s. After that, though, Memorial Day, 70 degrees the high. It does warm up later in the day, and after that, look at next week, Gary. We are in the 80s and 70s, so it's a short stint of cold, and then we're back to May and June-like weather to follow.
Yeah, that looks gorgeous.
Look at that.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. Well, they're an iconic part of all. And thank you for joining us for this half hour. If you are getting ready to head out the door this morning, Eric, we're talking about a nice morning even at this hour.
Yeah, it's a little chilly, but the sun is shining, Gary. In fact, let's take a look at the latest conditions as you head out the door this morning. We mentioned yesterday the possibility of frost early today, and certainly it's in outlying areas. It's not the common norm here this morning, though. We zoom in here, we're looking at 31 Otter Lake, 30 in Long Lake, basically anywhere in the Adirondacks, patchy frost is possible. A bit less likely in the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures are in the upper 30s, pushing 40 degrees, so overall, it's a slightly warmer morning in the valley. And then heading south, 35 degrees in Morris, 39 Oneonta, 40 in Cooperstown, and 33 in Sherburne. So, again, some of these spots here, especially in some of those hilly areas and the higher elevations, could see some patchy frost. Aside from that, though, on the radar, it's completely dry this morning. Expect a completely dry day today with sunshine to start. A few clouds working their way in this afternoon, but overall, a very pleasant day today with highs in the upper 60s. So this weekend, it's going to be a bit cooler, a little rainier, but not raining every single moment of the weekend. We're going to time out those dry periods if you guys have any plans for this Memorial Day weekend, as well as, most importantly, the Memorial Day forecast itself coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. Well, could we...
Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday morning. If we take a look at our photo of the day today, this is a great shot of a very colorful sunset here sent in to us by Amy from Trenton, and a great shot of the layers of clouds in the distance, the silhouette of the hills, or at least the horizon there, and of course those trees as well. And this is the time of year, though. We have a lot less cloud cover compared to, say, winter time, and so we get these mid to upper level clouds coming in, and we get these breathtaking sunsets. So either way, thank you to Amy for this photo. Shout out to those of you watching from Trenton this morning. And if you have a photo like this you'd like to send to us, go to WKTV.com/weather/pics. This photo and every photo every morning brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. Gary?
Eric, thanks. As we gear up for the Memorial Day week.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We start out your day today with plenty of sunshine. A little chilly, though, as we take a look at the temperatures across the area here. We begin in the 30s, 38 in Rome, 34. Hamilton in the 20s up at Saranac Lake, so some spots waking up to some frost. It's not widespread, but rather a bit patchy. Nonetheless, though, this is likely one of our last times we'll see frost for the season. Live looking Cooperstown, 38 the temperature here too, and of course a pretty quiet and sunny scene out there. High pressure keeping your morning very beautiful. Now as we head throughout the day today, we're going to see dry weather continue until tomorrow. We mentioned this all week long that this weekend might favor some rainfall, and you can see the activity here, but not all weekend will be rainy. As you see here, some rain showers exit. We could have some dry periods moving in. So let's time that out. Today in our Skycast, you see here plenty of sunshine. A few clouds working in this afternoon, mainly wispy mid to upper level clouds. So it shouldn't block out the sun too much. Nonetheless, highs are in the upper 60s. So overall, not too bad of a day today. You have any evening plans this evening? Should be rather pleasant. Now, Saturday morning, 6 a.m., we actually start out dry, upper 40s, low 50s. Some sprinkles to our south, but it really is going to take a little bit for that rain to actually reach the ground as we approach, say, noontime. Finally, southern valleys looking to see some rain, but Utica and north still looking rather dry. And as you progress throughout the afternoon, notice here, say for example, Old Forge, Speculator, we're talking Hamilton and northern Herkimer counties. I mean, you're still looking dry. So Saturday might not even be a washout for any of you guys up north, but a different story with some rain in the Mohawk Valley and south. Nonetheless, widespread rain does move through overnight tonight, Saturday night into Sunday. So we have here a couple of downpours early Sunday morning. That's the heaviest of rain we'll see all weekend long. After that, though, we do have a dry period moving in Sunday afternoon through Sunday evening. Cloudy skies, temperatures, though, in the 50s. So certainly jacket weather as we head into the Sunday hours. Now, as we head into Memorial Day itself, we are still tracking some rainfall. There's some variability to the time frame of that. I do think morning hours. By the afternoon, though, it does look like we could be warming up with some sunshine moving in and highs approaching near 70. So it doesn't appear as if this entire weekend will be a complete washout. So still, though, you're going to want to grab a sweatshirt, a jacket, especially for Sunday, but it's short-lived. By next week, we're talking 70s and 80s. And as far as I can see right here, no frost to follow. This might be the good time this weekend, as always, Memorial Day weekend, to start beginning that plan.
Yeah, I think overnight tonight might be our last for a while.
Sure.
Let's hope. Eric, thanks. SpaceX has
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Friday morning. And if you're getting ready for the big Memorial Day weekend, what can you expect weather-wise? Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us from the Weather Center. And Eric, bright sunshine out at this hour.
Yeah, that's right. We're very sunny day today, Gary. It's going to be dry as well. So any Friday plans, well, looking like the day to have them. Yeah. Let's take a look at the latest conditions outside. First off, a look at temperature, and we begin in the 30s in a lot of spots. So it is sunny, just a little frosty in a lot of spots early today, especially in those higher elevations heading up north of the Mohawk Valley. We're talking Camden, we're talking Coldbrook, heading up toward Old Forge, even in locations up near Ohio. This is a spot here where we're going to see some of that frost, but heading in the valley itself, it's a little warmer. Upper 30s, frost not as likely. In fact, we zoom in here, you can see a lot of spots heading up north near or below freezing. A little warmer in the Mohawk Valley, 35 Washington Mills, 37 Westmoreland, 38 in Cooperstown, 38 Richfield Springs, and near that frost point at Sherburne at 33 degrees. Aside from the frost, that's really about it in terms of weather impacts today. It does remain entirely dry. You look at the Yorkville Battery Live radar, dry conditions across the board. Highs will climb into the 60s today with plenty of sun. We are expecting a few clouds to roll in throughout the day today. We're talking wispy mid to upper level clouds, so certainly not completely overcast. It won't be a dark, gloomy day. This weekend, though, we are tracking rain showers, widespread rain, and it does take place likely every day this Memorial Day weekend. But it won't be a complete washout. We are expecting some dry periods here and there. I'll break down that time frame if you guys have any plans this weekend on when that arrives coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Fire crews in Utica battled a...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back. Time now is 6:12 on this Friday. Here's a look at what you can expect not only today, but heading into the Memorial Day weekend. So we begin first off with a look at the current conditions outside right now at downtown Utica. Overall, pretty chilly conditions in the 30s, a southeast wind of 3 miles an hour. And we're going to see, of course, plenty of sun throughout the entire day today, with a few clouds working in this afternoon, mainly mid to upper level wispy clouds, and highs in the mid to upper 60s. So not too bad of a day today. You have any evening plans? Well, certainly weather will not be a factor at all. Get out and enjoy your Friday night. Now, this weekend, I wish I had warmer and less rainy news, but it's the case here with Mother Nature. She decided we needed rain all 3 days, but it's not raining 24/7 this weekend. We're talking about some dry periods, even a warm up as we head into Memorial Day itself. We'll break down the time frame of that rainfall, when it arrives, when it ends, and of course that temperature trend heading into early next week coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Thanks. Every year, proceeds from the Tunnel to Towers.
Omni, cutting-edge surgery without the cutting.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Today on this Friday, it starts out a little frosty, a little chilly with some sunshine though, and your Friday not looking too bad. Let's take a look at the latest conditions outside right now. Officially in the 30s across much of central New York. Looking at some other temperatures here, we're at 33 Camden, 34 Colebrook, 31 Woodgate, 29 in Old Forge, 37 in Herkimer, 35 in Westmoreland, and of course here 37 in Rome. So we have a lot of spots here this morning that begin near the frost point, especially in those higher elevations north. But as you head down in the valley, frost a little unlikely. This is likely though the last time we'll be seeing frost this season. More on that here in a minute. 38 the temperature in Cooperstown, a sunny scene out there. High pressure keeping our conditions dry and pretty pleasant today. It's not until we head into the weekend that Mother Nature has other plans. Of course, just in time for this very important weekend, we've got rainfall. But the silver lining here is this rain isn't expected to linger all weekend long. We have some dry slots we'll talk about here as we zoom in on our Skycast. So today, we start out with some sunshine. Temperatures climb to around the low 60s by noontime, upper 60s by 5 to 6 p.m. Still a few clouds passing over us, but not too bad of a day today. Rain begins to develop early Saturday morning. You can see here a couple of sprinkles by 6 a.m. well south of our area. It will progress its way north as we head throughout the late morning and early afternoon. This is noontime here, and it's mainly in the southern valleys, barely even reaching the Mohawk Valley yet. As we head throughout the 4 to 5 o'clock time frame, notice actually that we've got a battleground here. Some dry conditions in areas to the north. We're talking northern Herkimer County, Hamilton County, maybe even Fulton County here. Almost entirely dry throughout the early part of the day. It's not until the overnight that you really start to see that rain begin to work its way in. So Saturday, it's rainy mainly south, I would say the Utica area and south and west. Up north, it's mostly dry. Widespread rain early Sunday. As you see here in the early afternoon, we do expect to dry up a little bit with rain showers exiting maybe a couple of lingering sprinkles here heading out to Fulton and Montgomery County. And then early Monday, we are still tracking some rainfall, but the signs are pointing to some sunshine peeking out Monday afternoon and warming up to near 70. So Memorial Day itself, actually a lot warmer than, say, 60s and 50s for Saturday and Sunday. So yes, you're going to want to maybe grab a jacket or two for this weekend. It's not a very warm one. It's certainly not a very dry one either. But after that, though, not only are we going to see a lot more sunshine next week, warmer temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s, but also look at the overnight lows, 40s, 50s, no 30s and 20s. So I do think this is probably the time frame, as usual, as expected this time of year after Memorial Day weekend, where I think it's safe to put in those plants.
Let's hope, right?
Yes, that's right.
Eric, thanks there. And good morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. Many people may have today off to get the Memorial Day weekend started early. And Eric, today looks to be a good day to have it off. Lots of sunshine already.
Yeah, that's right, Gary. You can see here across central New York, across a lot of upstate New York, we've got plenty of sunshine icons here on our graphic. We have pretty much from Poughkeepsie all the way to Watertown into Buffalo and Dansville. Plenty of sun. It is a bit frosty, though, to start your day today. We begin in the 30s. In some spots, low 30s, enough for frost to form. Mainly in these locations here in northern Oneida County, northern Herkimer County. As you head down into the Mohawk Valley, it's a little warmer. We're talking 36 Washington Mills, 39 in Fort Plain. Heading south, on the fringe of it here too as well. 38 Oneonta, 35 Morris, 33 Sherburne, 37 in Cooperstown. Now a live look at the radar, it's completely dry, obviously with all that sunshine now throughout the day today. It's going to remain entirely dry, so as Gary mentioned, if you have today off, well certainly it's a beautiful day today to have it off with highs approaching the upper 60s. Now this weekend, I know we've got rain to track for both Saturday, Sunday, and including for Memorial Day itself. But I do have some good news here. For one, it's not going to rain 24/7 this weekend, but two, it might actually even warm up for Memorial Day itself, potentially hitting the 70s. You know, we're going to break down, of course, the timeline of that rainfall and everything you need to know to plan out your Memorial Day weekend coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thank you. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. Well, could we be seeing a...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday morning. Our photo of the day today brings us to the town of Trenton in a great shot here. Look at this, of a great sunset sent in by Amy. You can see, of course, the silhouette of the horizon and the trees and a very colorful several layers of reddish oranges here. Amazing photo. If you have one like this you'd like to share with us, go to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Again, shout out to Amy and shout out to those of you watching and tuning in from Trenton this morning. That photo and every photo every morning brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. So today we start out, it's a little chilly, a little frosty. We remain dry for the entire day today. We're tracking rain chances throughout this Memorial Day weekend, but we are expecting on top of that some dry periods as well. We'll be diving into that and have that all important detailed forecast for it coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Let's hope we don't hear the word frosty till November now.
It's looking to be the case there, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Well, as we gear up for the Memorial Day week,
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Welcome back to News Channel 2 at Sunrise. Happy Friday, everybody. Today we are tracking a frosty start, but after that, it's a pretty pleasant day today. We'll have also a look at the weekend as well. Let's take a look right now at the latest temperatures. 37 in Rome, 36 Hamilton, 32 Watertown, 40 in Johnstown. Just a couple of spots, especially in northern Oneida, northern Herkimer, and heading into the hills of Madison County, the best shot for frost early today. Not widespread, but still a bit patchy, and likely the last time we'll see frost this season. As always, Memorial Day weekend is usually the time period where it's safe to plant afterwards, and sure enough, it looks to be the case in the long range. 37 the temperature in Cooperstown, a sunny scene out there early today. It's a very pleasant morning and afternoon after a chilly start. We climb into the 60s. Now, high pressure begins to erode as we head into early tomorrow morning and throughout the weekend. There's that widespread rain we've been mentioning all week long. It's going to shift its way through the area, but it's not expected to be a complete washout for the entire weekend. As you see here, some dry weather moves in as we head toward the second half of the weekend. As we zoom in here in our Skycast today, plenty of sunshine, highs in the mid to upper 60s. A few clouds this evening. After that, it's relatively quiet tonight. Early tomorrow, we're talking 6 a.m., a couple sprinkles heading south toward the Route 23 corridor in Chenango and Otsego counties. But for the most part, it remains mostly dry. Rain develops in the southern valleys as we head into the early afternoon. But notice, the more north and east you go, the rainfall basically falls apart for much of the daytime hours. So some of you heading up in this area here might be dry for the entire time on Saturday. So some good news there. Of course, a bit of rainier news heading down south and west. Regardless, widespread rain will inevitably move through overnight into early Sunday. Heavy rain showers early Sunday morning, the heaviest all weekend long. After that, though, by around noontime and afterwards, we're going to see some clear, or at least quieter conditions work in by Sunday evening. Cloudy skies and temperatures in the 50s. In some spots, 40s. Certainly a bit of a cooler day on Sunday. And that will remain dry before more rain arrives as we head into Memorial Day Monday. But you notice here, after a cooler Saturday and Sunday, well, Monday approaching near 70 after some morning showers. Sunshine moves in later in the day and it does warm up. So we do have some periods of sun, of dry weather. But yes, you might need a jacket or a sweatshirt at least a couple of times this weekend. But after that, though, a couple of things. Number one, we got more sunshine to follow for much of the work week next week. Number two, we've got 80s and 70s. And number three, the most important thing, I'm not seeing any frost in the long range, Gary. So I think it's just in time for the planting and growing season to begin.
Yeah, about time, that's for sure. Eric, thanks. And AI-driven meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now, and a lot of sunshine out there today.
Yeah, it's a beautiful one out there, Gary, already in the 60s. In fact, we take a look outside in downtown Utica. Well, it might look a little cloudy. It's some milky clouds from these upper-level cirrus cloud layers up in the sky. So still not blocking out the sun too much. Not a very overcast day today, but nonetheless, the temperatures hovering in the 60s across at least some of those lower elevations, Syracuse, Rome, Hamilton, and Johnstown, and Saranac Lake still in the upper to mid 50s. But today, well, it's likely going to be the warmest of the next couple of days. You know, I wish I had warmer news for you guys, but of course, this is the story for you as you zoom in here, low 60s. As we continue throughout the day today, radar also looking dry. We're not expecting any rainfall today through tonight. It's not until we head into tomorrow that we start to see some rainfall begin to work its way in. So a quick preview of that Memorial Day weekend forecast. Tomorrow, low 60s, starting out dry. We got some rain coming in, heavier rainfall on Sunday. Look at this. You might have some warmer temperatures and maybe some sunshine peeking out on Memorial Day itself. We're going to jump into that in a lot more detail, talk about timing, talk about the amount of rain, and of course, if you guys have any plans this weekend, everything you need to know to plan that out for you. But again, today, certainly nothing that would impact your plans. It's in the 60s. It's mostly cloudy, if not partly cloudy, and even some spots mostly sunny, with temperatures cooling down to the 50s tonight. And again, that all-important weekend, Memorial Day weekend forecast in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Pablo Goico was.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Happy Friday, everybody. Today, well, it's looking pretty dry. A few clouds rolling through. In fact, the skies look rather milky. We take a look across Central New York on our 4 main cameras all across the region. Let's zoom into Oneonta here, where we can see, of course, the sky not necessarily blue, but somewhat of a white color. Now, this is some high-level cirrus clouds. They're thick enough to make the sky white, but not so much to really darken things up. It's not certainly a very dark day out there today, and it's not expected to be. Temperatures are still remaining in the 60s for much of the day today. Now you can see that thin cloud layer right here. That's the leading edge of rain showers arriving this weekend, and especially for Saturday and Sunday. You can see it coming in right here. This is what we were looking at all week long, and sure enough, it's approaching. Now, there are a few things that I can tell you regarding this weekend that might at least make it seem a bit better than saying it's raining all 3 days. And it starts with the forecast for this evening, which again is expected to be entirely dry. Some of you might have today off. Well, if you have any evening plans, certainly weather is not a factor. It's going to be a bit cloudy, especially toward the evening, but it's going to be rather pleasant, upper 60s in a lot of low-lying spots. Now, Saturday morning, we start out cloudy. We're in the upper 40s, low 50s. We have some rain starting to develop. Now, as it approaches the southern valleys around the late morning, this is a snapshot at noontime. Consistent rain down here to the south. Look to the north, though, north and east of Utica. Completely dry. In fact, some of you in these locations here might remain entirely dry for most of Saturday, at least until Saturday night. Watch as the rain shifts north. High pressure basically is forcing all that sinking air, eroding that rain from approaching further. So again, a lot of spots here still remaining dry until the low pressure finally wins out overnight tonight, or overnight tomorrow night, into early Sunday. After that, Sunday morning, certainly the rainiest all weekend long. Consistent, moderate to heavy rainfall, turning a bit scattered by noontime. After that, we actually dry up again. I know we do have a couple of lingering sprinkles here and there by Sunday evening, but certainly it's not a washout. So, after that, it remains cloudy and dry overnight into Memorial Day morning. Now, here's the thing. We start out a little unsettled with rain showers early Monday, but signals are pointing to some sunshine moving in by Monday afternoon and the temperatures climbing to near 70. Now, this is already an improvement to the forecast in days past. If we can at least get some parts of Memorial Day nicer, well, that's a win. At least when it comes to how cool it's going to be on Sunday. Definitely jacket weather, 50s for much of the day. Now, after that, next week, warming up, we got some sunshine and overnight lows not looking so frosty. So I think it's a good time to say, you know what, we're ready to plant.
Goodbye, right?
Yeah, goodbye to the frost.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. Well, the deluge of rain. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now, and on this Friday of Memorial Day weekend, a lot of folks have the day off or took a half a day and are traveling, and not a bad day to do so today.
Yeah, not bad at all, Gary. If you're heading out or you're staying put in the area here, well, you take a look right now, and certainly the weather's not too bad. We got a few wispy clouds over central New York right now, but that's really about it. Temperatures still hovering in the 50s and 60s, so also not too bad of a day. A little cooler, but I will say the one advantage compared to earlier in the week, well, I guess it depends on if you like the heat and humidity, because certainly the dew points are a lot lower. So when it comes to the humidity levels, nowhere near like where they were earlier in the week. So Yorkville Battery Live Radar, we are dry across the board. We're not expecting any rain throughout the daytime hours today. In fact, through much of the overnight tonight. As you look ahead into a preview of this weekend, however, we've got some rain to track. Now, Saturday and Sunday, the two rainiest of the day, well, mainly on Sunday, the rainiest of the 3 days, I should say, and the coolest. Highs are only in the 50s. So it's certainly on a weekend, you're going to want to keep those shorts out. Maybe it's even sweatshirt or light coat weather for a couple of these days. But big story is for Memorial Day itself, well, we got some sunshine moving in maybe later in the day, and it might even warm up as well. But we're going to break down the time frame of that rainfall to help plan out your weekend coming up in a few minutes. But for now, as you see here today, we've got highs in the mid-60s. We got a few clouds coming in here tonight, but again, it does remain pretty dry. And of course, we're going to have all the details for your weekend forecast in just a couple of minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. SpaceX will try again tonight.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. On this Friday, after a frosty start in some locations, well, the sun has turned to some milky skies. You take a look outside across Central New York on the major cameras here across the region. Let's zoom into Cooperstown. Now, a very important weekend here in Cooperstown for the return of the Hall of Fame Military Classic taking place tomorrow. So, of course, we'll have more coverage on that later in the day today. We have some of our own reporters down there this morning as well. We're in the 60s still this afternoon. It's a very pleasant Friday on tap. Now, as we head throughout the weekend, well, it's a different story. We've got rainfall coming in, and it looks to be a bit of a washout, or at least appears to be a washout when we look at the bigger picture. But you notice here, we head into some sections of the area by certain time periods, and we have some dry slots coming in. So this weekend, officially, I wouldn't call it a washout, and I'll show you why. So today, sunshine has started. We had a few wispy, milky skies this afternoon. Highs in the 60s. A very pleasant day today. It's quiet tonight with a few clouds passing over us. Now, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., it's starting out dry. It's not raining early. However, we're going to see a few sprinkles to our south between 6 and noon. You're going to see rain approach, and it's going to follow the southern valleys. As it approaches the Thruway Corridor, the Utica-Rome area heading toward Little Falls and Herkimer, watch as this location to the north and to the east, there's high pressure, there's sinking air, it's battling this approaching low, and watch as the rain falls apart as that high pressure continues south. So a lot of spots Saturday might not even see a drop of rain until Saturday night when that high pressure finally weakens and that low pressure wins out. So I wouldn't call Saturday a washout unless you live south of Route 20, then it does kind of appear to be one. But regardless, we've got rain showers Sunday morning, heavy at times as we head throughout the late morning and early afternoon. We're going to see, of course, some scattered showers fizzle out. We're only in the 50s, by the way, Sunday. Look at these temperatures. You're going to want to make sure you have some extra layers. A little blustery, of course, cloudy, and a bit chilly. So dress accordingly. Now, by Sunday evening, it does look to dry up. Maybe just a little bit on the damp side, but either way, this will continue as we head into Monday. Now, here's the thing. For Memorial Day, when it comes to the forecast, one of these things is not like the other. We have 70, there's some sunshine chances there too later in the day. So there are a few scattered showers are tracking in the long-range models for Monday. But after that, it does warm up and we do see some sunshine peeking out. So the whole weekend will not be rain and clouds and cold. So that's a thankfulness here. But either way, by early next week, regardless of how this weekend shapes up, we're in the upper 70s, low 80s a couple of days. We've got some sunshine. There's less of a chance for frost. We're only in the 40s and 50s for overnights. But either way, it's a very important weekend for obvious reasons. And, you know, I wish I could bring some nicer weather, but listen, at least it's not completely rainy 24/7.
That'll be a good thing, and we'll see where the patches are.
That's right.
Eric, thanks. Well,
Meteorologist James DeFazio. We're beginning the weekend with pleasant conditions. Unfortunately, we're not going to see pleasant conditions for the entirety of the weekend. Showery conditions work in Saturday afternoon and evening and continue into Sunday afternoon and evening. However, tonight, pleasant conditions. Temperatures are in the mid-60s. We've got partly sunny skies, dry weather on your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. That will continue through the night tonight. Begins to change tomorrow morning. 65 degrees with sunny skies at Griffiths and Rome. Just a light breeze at 6 miles per hour, not overly breezy. Lows tonight are going to be in the upper 40s. It's going to be rather mild as we're going to see plenty of cloud coverage. Clouds increase as the night progresses ahead of these showers, which work in around midday. We see low shower chances until we get into the middle afternoon hours tomorrow, and then shower chances increase. They only further increase as we head into the overnight. Partly sunny skies this evening, though. Beautiful conditions to get out this evening. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s. Coming up, we'll break down the entirety of your Memorial Day forecast. Kristen, Jason.
James, thank you. 2 13-year-olds.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. We're tracking your Memorial Day weekend forecast, and unfortunately we're going to see a period of showers the second half of Saturday and the first half of Sunday. Take a look at downtown Utica, where we're not seeing showers tonight. Partly sunny skies with temperatures in the mid-60s. It's a pleasant evening to get out, head to the Utica Rome Speedway, take the dog for a walk, get a little yard work done. I'll look at your Memorial Day weekend forecast in general. Showers develop by midday tomorrow from southwest to northeast. We're going to show why certain locations see more rain than others. All of us see rain Saturday night into Sunday, and that continues into Sunday morning. Monday, just an isolated shower during the morning, and then drier conditions for the afternoon and evening. We have a battle of high and low pressure to the south, high pressure to the north, and that's what's going to keep this area of rainfall from lifting northward very quickly. It's going to get to about the Utica-Rome area by midday tomorrow, by 12 to 2 p.m., and then it's not going to advance very far. It's going to take about 5 hours to advance an entire county. By 10 p.m., things begin to change. This begins to overspread all of central New York and lifts northeastward. We see widespread rain Saturday evening and Sunday morning. Your Clinton Tractor and Implement Mowcast, unfortunately too wet the next 2 days to get the lawn cut. Monday, I am thinking the second half of Monday going to be dry enough for you to get the lawn cut. A look at your Skycast showing temperatures in the mid-60s and increasing clouds tonight as this area of low pressure begins to approach. Lows are going to be in the upper 40s, approximately 48 degrees. This rain lifts northward and then stalls right along the Utica and the Mohawk Valley, and that sits in about the exact same location. So rain across the southern valleys and western portions of the viewing area for the majority of the day tomorrow. The rest of us just see cloudy conditions until the evening hours. During the evening, that rain lifts northward and it's widespread overnight. Those showers continue into Sunday afternoon, the beginning of Sunday afternoon, and then drier conditions settle in. This evening, temperatures in the low to mid 60s with partly sunny skies. A look at your 7-day forecast. After this dreary stretch of couple of days, more pleasant conditions on Monday, especially the second half of Monday as we dry out, and then a beautiful stretch of weather Tuesday through Friday, mostly sunny skies, highs in the mid-70s.
Forecast with meteorologist James DeFazio and for Bill today.
Yes.
And this is not normally what we see. That's what we're seeing right there.
There we go.
Not awful this weekend. Things have changed a little bit since earlier in the week, right?
Yes, we're not looking at washouts either day. The majority of Saturday looks, the first half of Saturday is looking dry, the second half of Sunday is looking dry, and the second half of Monday is looking dry. So we're not looking at a washout at any of the days this weekend. We're tracking Pleasant conditions this evening, relatively mild conditions as well. Temperatures are in the mid-60s, or were in the mid-60s, excuse me. They're currently now in the mid-50s. Mid-50s across the Mohawk Valley in central Oneida County, approximately 54 degrees. At Griffith St. Rome, exactly 54 degrees with clear skies and light winds at just 6 miles per hour. We're continuing to track dry weather on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, and dry weather will continue until tomorrow morning, and then showers begin to approach from the southwest, and they overspread the area southwest first to northeast last. Lows tonight are going to be in the mid to upper 40s. We are going to see a little bit of cloud coverage overnight tonight. Fortunately, after Memorial Day, much warmer weather is ushered in because it is going to be quite chilly this weekend. Jason?
All right, thank you, James. Happening tomorrow.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. We're tracking a calm, mild, pleasant start to our Memorial Day weekend. Unfortunately, the rest of the Memorial Day weekend features plenty of unsettled weather. The forecast for Saturday is showers by the middle portions of the day, highs only in the low 60s. Showers continue overnight into Sunday. Highs Sunday only in the mid to upper 50s. It's chilly Sunday. If you're heading out Sunday, dress warm. And then Sunday evening, showers come to an end, and then we just have a passing shower early Monday morning before drier conditions settle in for our Memorial Day. A look at the bigger picture. We have a battle of high and low pressure, an area of low pressure lifting northward, high pressure north of that area of low pressure, fighting it, really keeping it from lifting northward nearly as quickly. It stalls across Oneida County tomorrow afternoon between 12 and 5 p.m. It does not advance very far northeastward across Oneida County. However, as we head into the evening and into the overnight, widespread rain does advance, and we all pick up about 3/4 of an inch of rain. Sunday evening, drier as we head towards Monday morning, that passing shower before drier conditions settle in for the remainder of Memorial Day. Clinton Tractor and Implement Mowcast. Unfortunately, it's going to be too showery the next 2 days to get the lawn cut. However, Monday, the second half of the day, does look dry enough that we would be able to do so. A look at the skycast for this evening. Mild conditions continue. Clouds increase as the night progresses, as this area of low pressure slowly approaches from the southwest. As this rain gets to central Oneida County and the Mohawk Valley, it takes several hours to advance forward. If you're northeast of Utica, you're not going to see much rain until later in the evening. Later in the evening, that rain moves northeastward, and we see rain through the overnight into Sunday afternoon. Sunday evening, we dry out. And then again, just that quick passing shower Memorial Day morning, and then a dry evening, and then a dry Memorial Day evening. A look at your 7-day forecast. After this dreary Memorial Day weekend, Memorial Day begins to improve, and that sets the stage for an absolutely beautiful week ahead. Highs in the 70s to near 80 with sunshine.
First look at the forecast with meteorologist James DeFazio.
It's not an ideal Memorial Day weekend forecast, but
we'll take it because we don't have a choice.
No, exactly, and we're going to actually end up with a pleasant Memorial Day. The second half of Memorial Day is going to turn dry, and it's going to warm up. Unfortunately, the next 2 days are showery and damp. Taking a look at our current conditions. Across central New York, we have temperatures in the mid-40s all the way up to the low 50s in certain locations. The Little Falls, the warm spot at 54 degrees there. Currently at Griffith and Rome, it is 52 degrees with clear skies. We'll see clouds increase as the night progresses, as the low pressure area of low pressure continues to work closer to us. that's going to bring us the rain showers tomorrow afternoon. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar is quiet and dry and will stay that way until mid-morning tomorrow, and then showers begin to approach from the southwest. Tonight, lows are going to be around 45 degrees. We'll see increasing clouds as the night progresses. We're tracking a rather wet second half of Saturday and a rather wet first half of Sunday, but neither day will be a total washout. We'll break all of that down coming right up. Jason?
All right, thank you, James. Happening tomorrow, Doubleday Field in Cooperstown, the place to be for the Hall of Fame Military Classic festivities. MLB Network was in town to broadcast the game, and we caught up with Brian Kenny from the network. He hosted a live show from the Hall of Fame's Plaque Gallery today, where he talked to MLB All-Star Rick Monday. He saved an American flag from being burned on the field in the 1970s. 1976, our bicentennial year, by the way. Hall of Famer Raleigh Fingers was there, and Hall of Fame President Josh Rawitsch. He talked about the new exhibits and what to expect for this year's military.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. We continue to track smoke from the fire on John Street here on the Nexus camera. Clear skies aside from the smoke plume. Clear skies will not last though. Clouds will increase overnight tonight. A look at your Memorial Day weekend forecast. We're tracking rain showers to move into central New York during the middle portion of the day on Saturday. We're going to see rain showers continue through Saturday evening, overnight Sunday, into Sunday afternoon. Sunday looking dreary with highs only in the mid-50s. And then Monday, we get a bit of a break. An isolated shower early in the morning, and then pleasant conditions for the afternoon, and much warmer conditions, highs in the upper 60s to near 70. A battle of high and low pressure as this area of low pressure slowly lifts northward, but it encounters high pressure as it does so, and that slows its forward momentum. It slows down over central New York tomorrow, but overnight, it's not going to be stopped. Widespread rain overspreads all of central New York tomorrow night into Sunday, into the beginning of Sunday afternoon. Drier weather for Sunday evening, and then we're tracking an isolated shower for early Memorial Day morning, and then drier, calmer conditions for the remainder of Memorial Day. Your Clinton Tractor and Implement Mowcast, unfortunately, Saturday and Sunday looking too showery to get the lawn cut, but the second half of Monday likely going to be dry enough for you to get out and get the lawn mowed. I'll look at Skycast this evening, showing clouds thickening up as the night progresses. It's a mild night, lows in the mid to upper 40s. Rain approaches tomorrow morning, but it doesn't advance much farther than central Oneida County and central Herkimer County. It stays pretty stationary from about noon to 5 p.m., and then after 5:30 p.m., that rain lifts northeastward. We all see showers through the evening into Sunday morning. Scattered showers continue into Sunday afternoon before drier conditions settle in for Sunday evening. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we're tracking a much more pleasant finish to our Memorial Day weekend. Monday afternoon and evening looking dry with highs in the upper 60s to near 70. And then we begin a beautiful stretch of weather. Very warm on Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the upper 70s to near 80. Mostly sunny with highs in the low 70s towards the end of next week.